Okay, I'll do it again. By popular demand, Instagram post review is back again. And this time, this one's gonna be around the same. It's gonna be around the same. Probably worse. Welcome to Instagram Post Review, the show where yours truly reviews your Instagram posts. Now, who the hell am I? Am I right? My name is Lalo. I run a blog called Marroquin Visuals. I have been a graphic designer and photo editor for the past 10 years since I was in middle school. And so today's goal is to be a little bit more assertive, more aggressive, and above all, is to just hammer. I'm just kidding, no. So with that being said, let's roll the intro. Okay, so to get things started, we're gonna start off by an Instagrammer by the name of Orhan Oskaki. I am so sorry for butchering your name. Now, the first picture we're going to be looking at is this one of a lantern. One of my favorite things about this picture in particular is the focus. If this was post-processed in Lightroom, I really like the amount of clarity that was used on this picture. You can definitely tell it enhances the borders, it enhances the leaves, it enhances the water. It just makes everything look better. It catches your eye right away, and that is when you know that you've taken a great picture. So props for this picture. Up next, we have another phenomenal picture. I mean, this person is a beast. That is the reason why this guy is probably at 30,000 followers on Instagram. So, I mean, he clearly knows what he's doing. One of my favorite things about this picture in particular is the way the net is being thrown into the water. And while the net is being thrown into the water, it just caught that moment of sunlight. That right there is what makes this an impactful picture. One of the things that I think this picture could have done without, I'm not feeling that wine color. I think like a natural sunset color would have definitely been great in this picture. But again, he does have a scheme going on, and maybe that's the reason why he went for it, just to keep that going. But I think orange would have looked just a bit better. The man in black looks amazing. The boat, the water, everything. He got the right aperture. This is a phenomenal picture. I'm a big fan of. Now this one right here is going to get huge criticism for, because there is such a thing of doing way too much post-processing. This picture would have probably looked great in just black and white. However, the clarity is just blown way too out of proportion. The colors look out of place. The sky looks out of place. Really high contrast. I feel that this picture could have definitely been better. Again, black and white would have looked great. Maybe bringing down the saturation just a bit. Definitely not over processing the whole image. The composure of the shot though is spot on. And with that being said, we are done with him. Make sure to follow each and every individual in this segment, and we want to motivate them to keep on delivering high quality work. Thank you so much for allowing me to review your Instagram page, and on to the next one. The following Instagrammer goes by the name of Life at Reese's, and this guy or girl really likes taking a lot of night scenery. But I do have a couple of tips. He does have some great pictures, but again, we're gonna get into it right now. The first picture I'm going to be looking at is this one. And one of the first things I definitely know will improve his game is bringing down the shutter speed to at least 1/10. Bro, girl, whatever you are, do that. Do 1/10 and you're gonna see how this image or these pictures alone are going to look amazing. It already looks great. However, I want to see more details of what looks like was taken in Singapore. So yeah, I definitely want to see more. The composure is great. Just definitely bring down the shutter speed and you're gonna see how this image just changes your photography game. The following picture is probably my favorite one. We have an adorable looking kid here. He looks like he's in focus, so that is one thing that I'll give him props for. The choice of color, I don't know how he got these colors going on, but they look amazing. I really like the red and I really like the blue on both sides of the faces. Maybe bring up the shadows a little bit higher on the hair. That way you see more details on that section of the head. But other than that, this is a great picture. Again, I'm really curious to know how this was taken. But congratulations, this is really cool. Do I like cats? I don't know. I don't know if I like cats. I know I have one. Now this picture here, is interesting. It's interesting because you can tell that the focus was right on her face. I think the aperture was too low because it just focuses on the cat's face. You're not getting too much on the body. The color selection is great. I really like how well he handles the curves. I mean, that's a pretty good, cool looking cat. I'm really feeling that blurry background. But again, maybe just opening up the aperture just a little bit more, that way you see a little bit more of the cat's body, not just its face. Otherwise, it just looks a little bit awkward. At least make it seem where it's fading a little bit more. The composure was great. Maybe cropping out the bottom right hand corner. That light of red looks a little bit distracting. Other than that, it's a great picture. Thank you so much, Life at Reese's, and on to the next one. The following person gets a standing ovation. Kenneth Gonzalez, aka Paradise Hills, on Instagram. He's a person that I actually went to high school with, and ever since he has just been killing it. He does multimedia, kills it in every single shot that he takes. In our DMs, I told him that I wanted a couple of tips on how he shot the following image, and I don't know if he thought it was a joke, but I wasn't joking. I really want to know how he did that because honestly, it looks amazing. So huge shout out to you, Kenneth. Thank you so much for allowing me to do this. On to the first picture. Now, time and time you guys are gonna hear me talking about crushing the blacks, because that is something that definitely takes your photography to the next game. And if you guys want to know how it's done, just look at this stuff. The composure is great. The only thing that kind of bugs me, it looks like the image is tilted just a bit. And I realized that in a couple of his images, it doesn't look straight. But I feel like with this image, because you got that straight line in the woodwork, and then you got the straight slabs at the bottom, if you were to just straighten it just a little bit, it would have made it just a little bit better. It's a great picture. The composition of the image is there. I'm really digging the colors. I'm really digging the feels. Highlights, he brought them down, and you can definitely tell that he's an experienced photographer. He knows what he's doing. It's a great shot. The following picture is probably one of my favorite ones. I mentioned earlier that some of the shots don't look straight, but again, it could just be for artistic reasons. But I feel like it is for artistic reasons, and this is one of them. You get that feel that as he's walking, the camera is actually moving with him, so that's actually a pretty cool effect. The colors, the outfit, I like how the sky matches. I think it might actually be the same color of his jacket, and that might have been done on purpose. I can't tell. The choice of color is there. It's really awesome. Living in San Diego, the USS Midway Museum is one of the most common places to take pictures. And if you are going to take pictures of a landmark that's always being photographed, you want to make it look unique. And that is where he excels at this. So huge props to this picture, and moving on to the next one. Now the next picture is of his girlfriend. I'm not trying to put you on blast. I know that's your girlfriend. I followed you on Instagram. The focus here is key. He's got focus for the most part of her body. The composition is there. Really digging the background, really digging the outfit. Looks like some sort of tribal outfit that just goes really well with the scenery. The only thing, and I know he did it with the other models that he took pictures of. I think this was a whole session. I'm really curious to see what the rest of the painting is. It looks really cool. Color grading is spot on. I really like the way he cropped this picture. And that's another thing, you know, don't be scared to crop out an image if it's going to make it look better. And that sometimes can shape a bad picture into a good picture. So again, thank you so much, Kenneth. Make sure to follow him at paradise.hills on Instagram. It's absolute beast. And I wasn't kidding. I really want to know how you took that shot. So make sure to let me know, all right? Moving on to the next one. The following person is a gentleman from Jackson, Mississippi, going by the name of C-Paint Photos. I often mention using the right amount of apertures so you get the right amount of focus on an object. And with this guy, you guys are gonna see what I'm talking about. Moving on to the first picture. The following picture is actually one out of 3 that he posted, and I chose this one specifically because this one was the better one. But one of the first things that I want to point out is his hand at the bottom is being cropped out. And I don't know if that was just the way Instagram said it, maybe he didn't want to. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but definitely in the future, don't leave his hand cropped out because we want to see this picture in its full glory. Come on. The outfits are on point, the background is sport, it's a straight image. Maybe stepping a little bit backwards to give a little bit more head space at the top. And that's something that I haven't mentioned before, but leaving enough space at the top between the person and the rest of the picture is actually something very important. The outfits go well with the background, with the whole feel that he's going for, the right amount of contrast and on focus. Look at the person to the left and then looking at the person sitting down at the right, and look at how well it fades, right? He's using the right amount of aperture. Moving on to the next picture, and you guys are gonna see what I'm talking about. This picture right here is probably my favorite of the ones that I saw. And the reason why I like this picture is because the background isn't being blown out, the sky has the right amount of saturation, the two gentlemen in the picture have just the right amount of focus. And going back to the aperture, because again, a lot of people use a really low aperture like a 1.4 or 1.8, and it just focuses on part of the person. But when you have one person standing right in front of the other, you don't want to have a low aperture, because then one of the persons is just gonna be left out of focus, and that doesn't make a good picture. The whole picture makes sense, and huge props for using the right amount of aperture. Now the next picture here just goes to show that he knows how to focus. Let's just call this guy the focus master, okay? I want to know, I'm actually very curious to know what aperture he's using here, but I really like how his face is in focus, his legs, they're not fully in focus, but you still get a good amount of detail on it. The whole aesthetic of this picture just really makes you feel like he's a professional, he knows what he's doing. He's using the right amount of lighting on the left side of his face, and that is something that a lot of people who are just starting photography don't know how to adjust on Lightroom. The only tip I would give to this picture is the bottom of the shoe, right around the tail is being cropped out. Again, the little details is what makes a great picture. Either way, it's still a good picture. So again, thank you so much, C-Paint Photos. Make sure to follow him. He is another beast. Make sure to follow. Now the following person is China Buena, or Visual Chai on Instagram. She is a photographer that likes doing unedited pictures. And you know what? There actually aren't a lot of people that are brave enough to do this kind of photography, or at least it's a genre that I feel we definitely need more people in. So shout out to you for doing that, and we're gonna move on to the first picture. Now I chose this picture because I really like the composition, just for one thing, and it's a very minor detail, but it looks like this is some sort of temple. The composition is great. I really like how you take this picture. You went under and you got the right angle. The only thing is that the building on the left looks out of place. So if there was any way that maybe you could have tilted the camera just a little bit to the right, and rather than getting that building on the left, you get more of the building on the right, which from the other pictures that I saw, it's a temple. It looks like some sort of temple. But if you would have just, again, shifted your camera just a bit and gotten more of the temple on the right, this would have been an even better picture. For being an unedited picture, I really like how well the blacks look. So congratulations for this picture. Moving on to the next picture. To anyone that has seen my website, they know that one of my favorite things, and I haven't mentioned it, but one of my favorite kind of shots are neon signs. I really like the composition of this image. I like the colors. I like the focus. Just one very minor detail. I am curious to know where this was taken. I'm curious to know what is behind that sign. It caught my attention when I saw that it said Bohemian Rhapsody. It just sparked my interest, and now I want to know what's behind it. Regardless, the composition is there, the focus is there. Clearly she got the right shutter speed, so congratulations for that. Moving on to the next picture, and probably the one that a lot of people might not make much of this, but I really like the angle, I really like the coloring. But again, most importantly, the angle to this picture. I think she might have actually gotten her camera pretty close to the water. And first, congratulations for not dropping your camera in the water. And two, you got a really cool shot. I really like how the focus is on the buildings, but you still get enough depth of field on the waves, and it makes it a great picture. So again, for being a photographer that does unedited pictures and just raw, this is a really great shot. I want to know where this was taken, to be honest. There isn't a location, and that is actually something that I recommend you start doing on Instagram. Just put the location, because a lot of people that look at your work, they want to know where it was taken. At least I want to know where it was taken, because the scenery is just phenomenal. And right about that's it for China. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you allowing me to review your work, and keep on killing it. You're doing a great job, and again, thank you. So right about does it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for staying. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Also, because this is going to be an ongoing series, I'm gonna try to do it once a week, maybe on the weekends. If you want to be a part of it, send me a DM on Instagram. I have my Instagram link in the description. So send me a DM, let me know that you guys want to be a part of it. That way I can go and critique 3 of your images. So again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. There is construction going on outside. For the past month, or actually maybe even more, there's been construction going outside, literally outside of my apartment, and it's driving me crazy. It's gotten to the point where I can't even drive through the street that I live in. I have to take routes. I gotta pull up Waze and she has to reroute me. It's insane.